Hey everybody, this is Frill. Welcome to Trackday Manager. So this is a racing game, but it's a little bit different in that it is a multiplayer manager simulation. Instead of taking control of a driver like you would in a usual racing game, you instead take control of a racing team. You purchase the cars, you upgrade them, sign sponsors, and then you can increase the skill of both your driver and your crew. In the races, you control the driver by issuing commands via hotkeys, but do not take direct control over the driver. I've been interested in the game since I first saw it in Steam Early Access and would like to thank Arctic Hazard Games for providing me with a copy of the game. So let's have a look. Alright, looking at the front end menu, we need to go ahead and purchase a car. There are half a dozen cars here. Only the first two you can purchase right now because you have $200,000. Everything else is more expensive than that. And they are unlicensed but inspired by real cars. This ERC Raptor is basically a Dodge Viper, I would say, in that it has a V12 engine. We have a North Avalanche, which is very similar to a Saab, I'd say. This Kingsley car, similar to a Bentley sports car. The Uma Shroud, I'm not sure on this one. It's got to be something like a Nissan or a Honda NSX maybe. We have the Porsche-inspired car. And we have the Ferrari-inspired car. So all these different cars have different attributes. Like between the ERC Raptor and the North Avalanche, you're going to have some differences in the top speed since the very American-inspired car is going to have a high top end but low handling ability. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase the North Avalanche, get a little bit extra handling and downforce from this car. So that will cost $195,000. And will leave us with it would set about 4,000, but then jumped up and we might have got some sort of achievement for that too, purchasing that car. So let's look at our upgrades. So as I already mentioned, the car has different attributes and all of these different upgrades will affect that. We have brakes, we have the ECU, which is like your electronic control unit. That can do some bonuses for you like cooling efficiency. It can also do heating, which would be bad. I had a lot of problems in the game with my engine overheating, so I went with a cooling ECU. So the rear wings gives you downforce and drag, different ones between those. Obviously cooling also affects it, so your radiators. We have the body of the car, we have the compression, gives you some different torque. Again, a lot of this revolves around different heating levels. The body did have some downforce drag. I think I already mentioned that. Here's something a little bit different. Formula One fans might know the KERS is the kinetic energy recovery system. Although these are sports cars, we seem to have that in here. And this is probably the biggest thing that you can control during the race for your driver is turning this on and off on the straightaways. It stores energy in a battery or a flywheel, and you have that extra, basically like similar to a turbo engine's boost. So that helps with that. We have the suspension. We have the transmission. I think we went over the exhaust already, just more heating and things like that. So we can customize and paint as well. All of that costs money. And I mentioned already we have the ability to get some different sponsors. So basically you get in here, we're going to call the sponsor. They did not return our call. See if we can call somebody else. Trackday Manager. We'll try calling them. They did not return our call because we are not very good, is why they're not returning a call. Let's try one more. KBI Design. How about RZR, Red Zone Racing? So they accepted. So we need to wine and dine them basically, and then we can request a contract. So we can send a small gift. And actually we can't even do these wine and dines. I think that's based on your manager's skill level. So we can request the contract. And we were declined, obviously, because we are new driver. This is your profile here. They'll have leaderboards. And actually, where am I? Here. Yes, this is your driver's experience as well. So they'll have your handling for your driver, your reaction time, and your perception. Your crew has the jack speed, the fueling speed, and the tire speed. And here's where our marketing manager would be a little bit better. We can have him better with negotiation and with networking. So that's where we are. I'm going to go ahead and look into the race. So they are adding some different racing modes. we have coming soon here for hill climb, boxcars, and custom. But a quick race is just a single race. A cup race is 3 different races, and I'd say there's, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but a dozen different types of tracks, and they've actually got some ovals in there as well, or maybe one oval. Alright, let's go ahead and do a race. I'm going to switch over to a different profile that I've actually spent about 10 hours playing the game already, so I have a few upgrades on my car, and let's do that. Alright, so we'll be starting 6th in this race, so the hotkeys at the bottom, let me actually turn on my ECU for the start. The hotkeys down at the bottom are pass left, pass right, overload, which I'll go into in a moment. We have block, we have tail if you're following somebody, and the KERS, ECU as I turned on, and the pit. So most of this I'll do through the hotkeys, so I won't be moving my mouse. So I've had a lot of issues with overheating my engine with my current ECU, so hopefully I don't have an issue with that in this race. We'll see what happens. This is a 10-lap race. Usually the races last about 10 minutes, so I would assume this is going to be about a minute lap, plus or minus, probably plus. So yeah, so far so good. These guys are a little bit of ahead. If I get too close to them, I will probably start to overheat my engine. Now this overload will use some engine heat. It will also use a little bit more fuel, so that's your gamble right there. And here we're going to get into where we are overheating the engine. So actually I don't want to use it since I'm so close to these guys. And we have a right-hand turn coming up, so I will try to make a pass. There we go. Very good. Following Racing Norway. So these teams can be real players from time to time since this is a multiplayer game, but there is matchmaking that is smart, so it's not going to put you in a race with players that are a whole lot better than you and way better cars. So this is usually, the races I'm in are usually with that Avalanche car that we have, and the name escapes me right now, but I think it's the Raptor? Was it the Raptor? The one that was like the Dodge Viper. So here we have the weather changing. I do have the soft tires on, because I figured with the low temperature, obviously those temperatures are in centigrade, otherwise there would be some major issues with our grip. But yeah, we're running 3rd, so this is very good. We can actually pull these down and figure out what the other guys are on, and what tactics they're using. I'm just going to kind of stay the course here, because I like the gap that we are at. We're saving some fuel. So these guys are both on soft. See, that guy was having some engine heat issues. I mean, I suppose we could try to use our overload a little bit. Probably use our ECU on the straightaway here. I'll do that. Basically, your KERS is what I want to use. Your KERS will reset every lap. That's how it works in Formula 1. Basically, you get that flywheel or the battery to charge, and then you can use it in the following lap. So right now, everything's going like pretty staying on course. I've had a lot of bad luck with overheating, as I mentioned, in these races. I need to get an ECU that's better. The ECU I have adds temperature and reduces the efficiency of the engine, which is good for power, but not good for the overheating, so that's why I really need to upgrade to a different ECU, one that does the cooling better. Then I can probably run these races a little bit harder than I do. So yeah, really I don't need to be messing with my camera too much like I've been doing. It's a little bit, might be a little bit annoying for you guys. So there, we just got into our overheating, so I turned the overload off. And setting up for our next pit, our pit planner here, we're going to get it full of fuel and use soft tires again unless we see the temperature going up, something like that. I need to use our KERS. There we go. Just kind of want to use your KERS going into the acceleration points. Basically, when you're coming onto a straightaway is the best idea. So yeah, we're actually 2 seconds back from Racing Norway, and I think that Shell Helix in 3rd is almost 4 seconds back from us, so we're doing quite good. Weather's not changing almost at all. So you'll see the temperature is going up. It's about to start beeping at us, and then I'll turn off our overload here. So we're about to get to the halfway point in the race too, so that means we're across our threshold for, needing 100% fuel. Obviously, with experience, you'll learn how much these tracks, which fuel, how much they'll take. and you can use that to your advantage in the whole strategy game. So yeah, for the most part in this race, it's actually pretty good for us. I've had so many issues with these races. So these guys, the leaders, are ducking off. So I'm going to take the lead here. Let me go ahead and use my Kurs. So they pit a lap early. I'm probably going to pit this following lap. And we'll fill it full of fuel. Should have noted, what was that guy? Who was the actual leader? I think it was... I don't know. Should have checked what tires he was changing to. That's part of the strategy. The later you pit, you'll know the other guy's strategy, and then you can make adjustments based on that. Yeah, we're going to be really coming up against it with our fuel here. Let's get around here. Might want to turn our ECU off. We've got Raptor coming up on us. I'm going to block him. Obviously, blocking is a 100% thing. This guy up here is overheating. It's not the end of the world, but it certainly hurts your race. So this guy's really getting annoyed at my blocking here and trying to run me off the road. Got 9% fuel left. Let's actually use our Kurs. Kurs shouldn't use any extra fuel. It will make you go faster, though. So you don't really want to use Kurs in the corner because you lose a lot of grip. Actually, I almost missed my pit window there. That would have been very bad, and I would have ran out of fuel. So here we go into the pit. And your pit speed, as I mentioned in the very beginning, has a lot to do with the skill level of your crew. You have the tires, you have the jack, and you have the fuelers. So we're going to fill this full of fuel all the way to 100%, I think. I bet we could get away with 95%, but I'd rather do 100% for this video and not run out of fuel. There we go. So we seem to have been leapfrogged by some people. We'll see what happens, though. I don't know, maybe we just took the wrong choice with those tires. Arctic Hazard was... I thought he was the leader, wasn't he? We're coming out right by him. Maybe not the leader, but the guy that was in second at one point in time. It was like Racing Norway, and I thought it was the Arctic guy. I don't know, the names are all the same to me. Somebody will post in the comments what it was. I'll be reviewing this video. Let me turn our ECU back on. So I'll probably have some more videos of the races, and since I don't have to explain the very basics of the game during the video, it might do a little bit better during the race. So we were leapfrogged totally. We went from 3rd to 11th, but okay, we've got some more cars in the pits over here. You can see by the icon there. We do have this guy coming up on us. Yeah, let's see if we can get our Kurs going and try to leapfrog these guys on the straight. Come on. Yeah, we just passed a bunch of people, so I was getting a little worried there that we might have got passed by a couple of guys, but we've got a bunch coming out of the pits here that we got by. So Raptor, here he is. Once again, it's Raptor, Racing Norway, okay, something like that. Let's try to pass this guy. There we go. That was a good move. So we got the overtake. That was very ideal there. So we've got 3 laps to go. We've got plenty of fuel. Our tires are in good shape. Your tires, the color can switch between blue, green, and red. Red, they'll actually still be pretty grippy, but they'll be wearing down, and that's obviously a bad thing. As they wear down more, they'll lose grip, so I think those guys, Livox Motorsport, seems pretty fast if you ask me. It's only got 39% fuel. We've got 65, so we're a little bit... I'm going to use some overcharge here. Or I don't want to call it overcharge, but it's called overload or overdrive, whatever you want to call it. We actually just got a little bit fishtailing in that corner there. We lost a little bit of grip, and we're overheating. As long as we're not following somebody, we should be able to handle our overheating problems. But as soon as I get in the slipstream of somebody, I start to overheat. Yeah, I'll be very happy with a 5th place finish if that's where we end up. Just maintain this 3-second gap here. Let's look at this here. All these guys in front of me are very low on fuel. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. And we're packed full of fuel, so we're good. Use our curves a little bit. So the leader seems to be in the pits. So is Racing Norway. Is Shell Helix going in the pits? What about Arctic Hazard? Everybody is going in the pits. We might take the lead here. Let's get our curves on. See, I thought they pit a lap early. Yeah, we just took the lead. But these... Is somebody closing in on us? Let's see. No? Well, these guys are going to come out right behind us. Weird pit exit right there. A little bit like the Abu Dhabi Formula 1 track. Actually, a little bit weird. So luckily, we did not have any rain or anything. We usually have rain problems. So we're 3 seconds ahead. Plenty of fuel. We have the same... We're on the same strategy as this Motul Supersport guy, so... Hey, this is going to look pretty good for me. You guys are going to be like, Rill is the master at the Trackday Manager. Because I'm going to win this race on the very first video of the series. Obviously, like I said, I've actually played about 10 hours to upgrade my car, that whole thing. So, like most multiplayer games, you know, like War of Thunder or World of Tanks, all those, there's a little bit of grinding involved to upgrade your cars, but overall, it's pretty good. This guy's really catching up. We're going to have one more lap. I don't think we're going to win this because of this exact fact. This guy's catching up so fast. Using my curves here. I'm trying to block him. Okay, final lap. See, I jinxed us. We were celebrated too early. Raptor is also coming real hard. Enghart competition's 4 seconds back, so I think we should podium here if these guys get by. We should at least be able to podium unless they wreck it. Yeah. So he just got me loose and really almost wrecked me. So come on. What's the deal? What the heck? My grip's got to be going down. We're gonna get knocked down to 6. Racing Norway, block him. Well, 6 is still not bad. I think we started 6th. But yeah, we got lucky. No rain in this race, and no rain strategy. Ooh, he just knocked me out of the way as well, so I think we overdrove the tires possibly here. Because we really are driving slow this last lap. Let's see if we can just keep things up. Couple more corners to go. Shell Helix behind us. This guy actually is... Let's see if we can get him right at the last second. I don't think we are. He overheated right at the last moment. So we finished 7th. Not bad for a first race. We led some laps. We'll probably win some awards, something like that. And you just wait. You have to wait for this to completely end. All the cars across the finish line. And then they'll give us some results and things like that. I don't know why it's saying I disconnected. Maybe I disconnected from the chat. Obviously, I'm fine. So, we finished 7th. We gained 150 experience. 2250 in money, so we can invest that back into the car. We got a little bit of sponsor payout with that Arctic Hazard sponsor. We have salaries to our driver, our jack operators, refueler, tire changers, marketing manager, and some pit expenses for our fuel and tires that we had. So we made about 2,000 there, and we did get an award for the crowd pleaser, so that's pretty good. Let's see, what was my... Do we have a best lap on here? Obviously that's the total time, 12 minutes. Best lap, okay, 105. So you can see these guys... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong guy, okay. So you can see, though, that the leader, that Motorsport guy, did a 1:02 lap, and we were almost 1.5 seconds behind that guy, so... Alright, it does look like we're out of time for this episode. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I'll probably do a couple more episodes, but if you guys really do enjoy it, I'll do even more than that. So let me know in the comments, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.